Good morning. Thank you for joining me again on Stand on Guard. I'm your host, David Crayden. It's October 6th, Sunday, October 6th, 2024. When we come back, what can we expect to happen in the House tomorrow? Tomorrow being Monday, and tomorrow being the House is back in session. When we come back, a little bit more about that.
So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need political change, but we also need the resolve to resist.
Yes, please smash that like button, give us a thumbs up. It really does help to prevent and to circumvent the YouTube censorship, which of course we get all the time. I see some stations 85,000 K for doing the same thing I'm doing, but I'm not here for entertainment. I'm here to give you the news. I hope some of it's entertaining. I do my best. As a lot of you know, I used to be, well, I still am sometimes a bit of an entertainer in the lounge as a singer. One of these days, I'll do a song. As long as if I can't play the music, or I'll be demonetized because I'll do a cappella for you. Anyway, I really love you joining me on Sunday here. Hope your day is going well. It's a little cool here in the outskirts of Ottawa, but beautiful sunny day. We've had the nicest October so far. Uh, as we get into this month, very strange times we're living in. As I keep saying, we're on the verge of a nuclear war in the Middle East and in Ukraine, and nobody in power really seems to give a damn. Certainly not Justin Trudeau. He's off to Paris, Gay Paris, this weekend with Melanie Joly, and that's okay. They're there for the Francophonie Summit. But of course, Justin Trudeau is completely oblivious to the reality around him. And, I'll say, what's been happening with this? Okay, I'll show you this headline again. Battle over sending green slush funds docked RCMP sends House into uncharted territory. According to Karina Gould, the House leader for the Liberals that we all really can't stand. If you didn't like her, it really cemented the relationship when she actively invited a former Waffen SS member, yes, Yaroslav Hunka, to Parliament to listen to a speech by international freeloader Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. That was a moment in time, Canadians. What a proud moment. Then, of course, when her idiocy is revealed, she decides, let's redact it. Let's censor that from the official parliamentary record from Hansard like it never happened. Oh, anyway. So, what's been happening over the weekend? Nothing from the mainstream news. Go ahead, have a look. Have a look and see how much of this is being reported. It's just sort of like a skirmish. But I find this very interesting because National Post reported, and I told you yesterday, Conservative Party communications people are telling me RCMP isn't looking at documents. They're not investigating anything. There's somebody not telling the truth here. Do you think the RCMP would lie to us? Of course they lie to us. I think we all know that. They've been lying to us for years about everything. And I say that as somebody, grew up adoring the RCMP, thinking that they were always on the side of justice and the good and the right. And right now they're on the side of Justin Trudeau. They've already said they're not really interested in looking at these unredacted documents from the House. And I don't believe them for a minute. They've got any, and here they told CBC, RCMP says it has documents at the center of a debate bogging down the comment. Yeah, it's got the redacted ones. It doesn't want the unredacted. See how slippery these RCMP guys are? I mean, they're all about woke politics, just like the military now. They're all about pushing Justin Trudeau's agenda. And it just amazes me. I got to share this with you because I'll forget to do it. You want to know how the woke media around the world portrays portrays Canada and portrays the Trudeau government. It's like reading complete nonsense. I found this yesterday in The Guardian. And if you've looked at The Guardian lately, this is from, the Manchester Guardian from the UK. It is nothing but a leftist rag now. And dig this headline. Canada's carbon tax is popular, innovative, and helps save the planet. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Lie, lie, lie. But now it faces the axe, from Poilievre and his axe attacks. It's nauseatingly horrible to read this article. The headline's enough, though. The carbon tax is not popular in Canada. It's increasingly verboten in Canada. There's nothing innovative about taxing people at the gas pump. Governments have been doing that ever since gas was invented. Ever since gas stations appeared on the scene in the early, I guess the early 1920s, late 19-teens. Governments have been taxing gas forever. So nothing innovative about it. What a stupid headline. And it doesn't help save the planet because it doesn't, even if you agree, for argument's sake, that greenhouse gas emissions are the cause of all climate change. It's all anthropocentric. Human beings are causing it. Okay, if we agree on that, the carbon tax isn't doing anything to stop greenhouse gas emissions because people still have to drive their cars and heat their homes. So it's just causing punitive damages to average Canadians who have to do these things to survive. So this is BS, complete BS article. Just drives me nuts that people get away with this nonsense. They have no conception of what's happening in Canada. I want to show you this clip. If you saw this on Friday, my apologies. I want to show you this again because it shows you how divorced from reality Justin Trudeau is. Now, where's Justin Trudeau right now? He's still at the Francophonie Summit with Melanie, and he's got his two premier sidekicks there from Quebec and New Brunswick, having a wonderful time, but completely divorced from reality. Let's listen to this.
Prime Minister Jeremy Sharon, CTV News. Your House leader seems open to negotiations with Le Bloc Québécois on increasing OAS for more seniors. What kind of increase are you willing to consider to meet the Bloc's demands by October 29th?
Encourage, Justin.
We will continue to focus on what we need to do to deliver for Canadians. Our focus, whether it's been...
Have you heard that one before? We will continue to focus on what we need to do to deliver for Canadians. He forgot about rolling up his sleeves and about all these challenges out there. But this man is just so full of BS rhetoric.
Investing in seniors with things like dental care or increasing the GIS or increasing OAS for seniors over 75 has demonstrated our commitment to seniors. But the one thing I won't do internationally is get into domestic political disagreements. Know that we remain focused on working for Canadians and are open to working with anyone who's putting forward constructive ideas that are going to make things better for Canadians and for the future that we're all building together.
Now, what is he saying there? Anybody that has good ideas. That means the Bloc Québécois. So he's saying he's willing to do anything he has to do to stay in power by sucking up to the Bloc Québécois. The Bloc Québécois, of course, is a traitorous, treasonous party that has no business sitting in the House of Commons. I'll say that every day if I have to because it's true. There should be no reason we have to put up with a separatist party in the House of Commons. Why they're there, I don't know. And I remember when they first got elected and they were actually the official opposition. Her Majesty's official opposition. They were known as the time when we still had a queen. What a joke that was. But it's just a little more.
On the increasing tension in Lebanon, your government has been urging Canadians to leave the country so far through commercial flights through the airport. We've seen bombings near the airport now. How concerned are you about the viability of the airport as an option right now to get Canadians out?
We have highlighted many times it's important to ensure that civilian infrastructure like the Port of Beirut and the airport are properly protected and not struck. We're increasing support for commercial flights. There are spaces for Canadians on those planes that have not at this point been filled, so I'll encourage any Canadian who can leave Lebanon to leave Lebanon. We are ensuring flights to be able to do that, because if the situation gets worse, as we are working very hard to try and prevent it from getting worse, it will be extraordinarily difficult for the tens of thousands of Canadians who are currently in Lebanon, and obviously extraordinarily difficult for all Lebanese civilians if things get worse.
My second question is more on domestic politics. Your friend Gerald Butts recently said in an interview that a fall election is likely. Do you agree with him?
My focus is on continuing to deliver concrete measures for Canadians. We're about to work on pharmacare in the House, and that's going to deliver free insulin to people suffering diabetes, free contraceptive prescription contraceptive and contraceptive devices to women across the country. These are things that Canadians need, particularly at a time where every dollar counts in a family budget. We're going to continue to focus on the things like dental care that have already helped over 800,000 seniors. We're going to focus on things like expanding more childcare spaces at $10 a day across the country. We're going to continue to be investing in both fighting against climate change and creating good jobs. That's my focus. I'll let other people talk about politics.
I'll let other people talk about politics. That was his last word on this. Of course, he's going to come back this week. I don't know if he's back Monday, but the House is not talking about Justin Trudeau's measures. They're not talking about free insulin. A hot dog. Is that the best he can offer? And, oh yeah, free contraceptives. Well, does that mean condoms for men or just birth control pills for women? How stupid does Trudeau think Canadians are? Wow, what a deal. Free birth control, free insulin. That's an answer. Free dental care for people who can't use it. And oh, don't forget about the free lunch for the kids. And that's going to make a huge difference in your grocery bill with the nutritious free lunch for kids. I am just so sick of listening to this, man. By the way, before I forget, thank you. I'm mispronouncing your name. My apologies, but Goko Donnie gifted 10 Cradence Right memberships this morning. Thank you. And I'm going to put up some of your comments this morning because it's Sunday and we should do that. But thank you again. Thank you again for that. That is so kind and it's so appreciated and we love you. Thank you. Anyway, so what's going to happen this week? The Conservatives are going to continue to press this issue. The House has ground to a halt. The mainstream media might not want to report that very much. And I'm still waiting for my interview with Michael Barrett, Conservative MP from Ontario, who has the lead on this corruption file. The Conservative, or shall we say, the Office of the Leader of the Opposition, the OLO, communications people have been promising me an interview all weekend with Mr. Barrett, and they had better come through tomorrow. Well, what am I going to do if they don't? But interviews with MPs now are strictly and tightly controlled by the communications people. So I'm, politely waiting for a response. But I know so many of you want to hear from Michael Barrett. But what is actually going on here? And if he can give us an update on what's happening, because you're not going to get any update from the mainstream media right now. And believe me, Justin Trudeau is still in complete denial about this. Yes, he's in denial about so many things. But this issue will be pressed. We're not going to have any government business until this is resolved. And the RCMP had better come clean as to whether they have the unredacted documents and whether they were even going to look at them and what investigations exactly have they got going. Don't just say, oh, we've got some investigations going. What precisely are they doing? Will they comment on that? Will they give us a hint about what they're actually following up and pursuing? These documents, this issue of the Green Slush Fund is dynamite. This is the biggest issue the Poilievre Conservatives have had in 8 years now. Easily. No, it's 9 years now. 9 years of this government. This is easily the big, and this is a scandal-prone, scandal-plagued Trudeau government. You remember the WE scandal. You remember in the personal scandals. You remember the SNC Lavalin scandal, where Trudeau deliberately interfered in the judicial process We had 2 cabinet ministers resign over that one. Not Trudeau, Mr. Teflon. He survived. I don't think he's going to get through this one because there's just so much money that was wasted, and I think not just improperly, but potentially illegally dispensed to friends of the Liberal government, friends of the Liberal Party. This is an outrage, and it needs to be addressed, and it will be this week. And we're going to stay on this every day, and we will get that interview with Michael Barrett, as promised by the Conservative Party communications people. Yes, we will. I wanted to talk to Michael Cooper, but they said, hey, Michael Cooper's a great guy, but Michael Barrett's the one with the lead on the file. So I do want to talk to Michael. I think he's done a bang-up job on this, and we need to know what is going on with this file. So thank you. I'm just going to show a few more of your... But I want to have some fun this morning because it's Sunday, and I've got some great clips to show you from the United States angle. You think things are falling apart here in Canada? They are, but they're also falling apart in the United States in the U.S. election, and it's fascinating to me. There is some divine justice, and if you thought it was unusual that Joe Biden could be literally deposed, thrown out after he won it in the primaries, he won it fair and square. To some extent, yes. I mean, they wouldn't allow Bobby Kennedy Jr. to run as a Democrat. But there was another guy running from Minnesota. No, I don't mean Tim Walz. There was a congressman from Minnesota whose name escapes me at the moment. He was actually running in the primaries. But you have to say, at least Joe Biden faced the people in the primaries, the Democratic primaries. And I think Donald Trump was saying last night he won about 14 million votes in the primaries. So, at least he put himself out there. And then he gets deposed after that first debate with Donald Trump, which was a disaster. And the Democrats finally said, we can't keep this hidden anymore. We can't hide the fact that Joe's going through dementia, and it looks like the late stages. So, anyway, it looks like the late stages. I'm just trying to show some of your statements this morning and your comments. We love you for doing your comments. But listen to this. Joe Biden decides to do a live news conference. And this is from Friday or Saturday. And it's right in the middle of an announcement from Kamala Harris, which he interferes with, which you'll see. CNN has a panic attack over this. But Joe Biden blames Kamala Harris for all of the ills of his administration. Now, you can take this 2 ways. Either he's saying Kamala's responsible for all the good things we did, or he's saying Kamala's responsible for all the disasters of my administration. Listen to this.
There's been a number of crises that the country has been facing over the past several days with the hurricane, with the port strike, with the situation in the Middle East. Can you talk about how your vice president, who is running for the presidency, has worked on these crises and what role she has played over the past several days?
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
You see what he did there? He drove the whole bus thump, thump right over her and then beep, 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 right back over her again, thunk. Kamala's been, right there with him every step of the way. But wait, it turns out that there's more that Biden pulled this stunt just as Harris was about to make a major address about a port strike, thus completely overshadowing her. Now, of course, this caused our good friends at CNN to have a little bit of a meltdown. Have a look.
I do have a note, and I'm curious what you think about this. We were actually about to go live to Vice President Kamala Harris, who's speaking right now in Detroit, Michigan, and apparently she's talking about this port strike ending. She's trying to appeal to union workers, and yet you have the President of the United States come out clearly overshadowing her, answering significant questions. Is that a communications mistake? Is the left hand not talking to the right hand in this situation?
Had some very good points. And if they were coordinated, as you assume they would be, this would not have happened.
No, this would not have happened. Here's another classic moment. You want to see Kamala Harris just being natural? You think she can survive without a teleprompter? Watch this.
Today we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. We got some business to do. All right. 32 days. And we know we will do it.
Yeah. There's Kamala when her teleprompter fails. So just keep repeating 32 days, 32 days. Something good will happen. Somebody will rescue me. Oh. Good morning, Randy Rawlinson. Thank you for watching today. Yes, we love you all, and you just thank you for making this show so much fun to do, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to close today with this great clip from Elon Musk, who was at the Donald Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania last night. You got to hand it to Donald Trump. I mean, not only did he handle an assassination attempt with guts and grace. This is the guy who he came a fraction of an inch from having his head blown off. Yes, struck his ear, could have easily have been a centimeter closer and blown a hole in his head. Just what happened to John Kennedy could have happened to Donald Trump. He got up from that on the afternoon of that attempted assassination and said, fight, fight, fight. And I think for millions of Americans, they said, this is the president I want. Not some guy stumbling, bumbling all the time, falling down the stairs of Air Force One looking like a fool. I want a president who stands up and says, I'm going to fight. And the guy had the guts to go back to Butler, Pennsylvania yesterday to have another rally in the same location where he endured an attempted assassination attempt. And it's fascinating. But Elon Musk, of course, the only free speech advocate in social media, was there. And I want you to listen to Elon Musk. He says, thank God. I know Musk isn't perfect. There's a little bit of hypocrisy there at times, but he's doing more for free speech as somebody in that position who actually owns a social media platform than anybody else is. Well, listen to Elon here.
His name is Elon Musk. He saved free speech. He created so many different great things. Where is he? Come on up here, Elon. He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here. Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
Hi, everyone. As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot. Fight, fight, fight. Blood coming down the face. Now, America is the home of the brave.
Always was.
And there's no truer test than courage under fire. So who do you want representing America? Yeah, absolutely. And I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime. This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. You've got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live, is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting. I still can't believe that's real. So how are you supposed to have a proper election if there's no ID? It's just meaningless. And free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And
free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And that's the one thing Justin Trudeau has worked hardest to destroy in Canada. The one thing.
If people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
I love that point. The Second Amendment is there to ensure we have the First Amendment. We don't have a Second Amendment in Canada. Of course, that is the right to bear arms. No, they've got us there, and that's probably never going to change in Canada. But I love the defiance from Musk here. We're going to have more of that in Canada this week. We're finally getting a defiant official opposition that's not just going to talk about slogans. This is reality, what's happening here in Canada this week. This is going to be a very historic week. Stay with me every day. I will be doing updates maybe twice a day if necessary. I'll be writing for the Post Millennial as well in terms of what's happening in the House of Commons. This is an exciting week to be alive, to be an observer of Canadian politics, but to know the end is nigh for Justin Trudeau. The end is near for this corrupt government that wants to take away your basic liberties, that wants to take away your freedom of speech, that wants to sit on you so you can't move. The end is nearing for this government. And there's an election in less than 30 days in the United States. I predict we could still see a November election here in Canada. So let's cross our fingers, hope and pray, because at the very least, let's hope this legislature, this House of Commons is prorogued. So the odious legislation that Trudeau has lined up, including the Online Harms Act, including Bill C-293, the vegan bill, including Charlie Angus's insane bill to criminalize promotion of fossil fuels, and we've got another crazy bill that criminalizes any speech that is so-called denialism about the residential schools. Let's hope this ends either with a new election, an early election, or with Parliament being prorogued so we can stop the authoritarian rule of Justin Trudeau. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for coming back. I'll be back again tomorrow, probably at 8:30, with more of the news that you need to know so you can continue to resolve to resist.